For Holy Holy? For which song? Holy Holy? I don't have one for that.
Welcome to this moment in our world. Yeah, I said welcome to our human race and the sights and sounds and tastes. Can you feel it? If you can, then clap your hands. Don't you feel it? If you feel it, stand up on your feet and you feel it. Yeah, we are gathered here, different walks of life. Leave your worries at the door and come inside. We are gathered here, troubles cast aside. We are all as one as we sway from side to side. Yeah, welcome to this moment in our world. Yeah, I said welcome to our human revolution, and we're born into the movement. Can you feel it? If you can, clap your hands. Don't you feel it? If you feel it, you're already standing on your feet, and you feel it. Yeah, we are welcome here, different walks of life. Leave your worries at the door and come inside. We are welcome here, our troubles cast aside. We are all as one as we sway from side to side. Welcome, yes, and welcome.
Good morning. And welcome to Unity on Greenville, a positive path for spiritual living. It's so nice to see folks in the audience today or in the sanctuary because of wonderful rain we're having. And I do hope that want to say hello to all of the folks who are tuned in online as well. You may notice the altar here, the little altar, and so this was set up for pictures of our mothers. And if you have a picture and you have not put it on the altar yet, would you please come up and do that? Anybody? Okay. All right. We just want to let you know. Okay. So. Before we start the main show today, I have a few announcements to make. And one of them is that the charcoal drawing class has been moved from next Sunday to May 26th, and that will be at 12:30 p.m. here at the church, and that will be facilitated by Sandra De La Cruz. So if you have any questions, you can see Sandra after the service. And you do need to sign up, and there's a registration notebook out there in the lobby, and she just needs to know that so she can bring enough materials. It should be wonderful fun, and we're all going to be artists when we leave, right? All right, and then on Tuesday, May 21st, this is on Zoom. Reverend Veronica will lead a brief meditation class, and that will be from 6:30 to 7. So please log in, and you can get that information off the Unity webpage. And also, you can follow Unity on Facebook. So I know a lot of us are on Facebook a little bit from time to time, and so you can find that out there. So just please try to join us. All right, and then on Sunday, May 19th and June 9th, our own Nancy Duplant will bring chair Tai Chi to us. And I was thinking, wow, what a nice way to exercise without having to leave your chair. So let's all come and do that, yeah. And that's going to be at 10 a.m. before church. So if you've never done Tai Chi, it's really relaxing and get your blood flowing, and I highly recommend it. And then on Saturday, May 18th at 10 a.m. in the morning, we should be up and awake by then, we will meet at the Well-Grounded Coffee Community Shop. And that is on Garland Road. And this is for anyone here or your friends, just the whole community. And we're just going to have conversation and get to know each other a little and have a lot of different topics to talk about. There's a lot to talk about right now, right? And that will be facilitated by Reverend Veronica. So please write that on your calendar. And then May 19th, which is next Sunday, I have been coming to church for a long time, and I have never seen door prizes offered at the potluck. And so I'm not sure if that's going to be, a bag of sandwiches or a diamond ring, or exactly what that's going to be. But please do join us, and you can bring a dish from home, or you can just pick up something at the grocery store, or just join us, because we always have enough for everyone. And I want to thank you for sharing your abundance with our community. And one way that we do this is through the outdoor pantry. And you may have seen it out in front of the church there on Greenville. And what we do, we put this out there for people who are in need. And we get a lot of business from that, because there are a lot of people in need. And we ask you, if you can, to contribute to that, to go to the grocery store, dollar store, wherever, and pick up something that would be good for maybe one person, maybe some fruit or tuna or something like that would be easy to open, because typically people don't go around carrying can openers with them, or at least I don't. But anyway, please feel free to bring those to the church, and we will stock the pantry for you. And let's see. So upcoming speakers, you will see that next week, Reverend Veronica will be back with us. And then for 3 Sundays, we'll have Reverend Barbara White. Then Roger Kennedy, Reverend Veronica's back, and then Brian Kurtz. So we have a great lineup coming up. Please join us. Here at Unity, we believe in being open to receiving the good that is intended for us. In turn, we like to share the good we receive. So if you find that Unity on Greenville is your spiritual home, or a place where your soul is nourished, we invite you to share your financial blessings with us to support this community. So we offer several options, and there should be a little card in each of the pews for you to look at if you want to contribute in a different way. We have Zelle, you can mail it in, snail mail. You can go to Tithely and text to give. You can also go to the website, and there is a place to donate on there. And thank you for your donations. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, and would you please join me in saying the offering blessing? Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. With gratitude, we commit to using our gifts for good. Thank you. All right, the daily word for today is, of course, about Mother's blessing. And the affirmation is, I honor and bless the world's mothers. Today, I offer a blessing of gratitude for the loving, nurturing spirit of mothers. I bless my mother and those who have shared a mother's love by supporting me throughout my life. I think of the many ways that they have been present for me over the years with unconditional acceptance and love. I envision all the mothers, grandmothers, and caregivers throughout the world surrounded by love and light. For those in my life, I take time to express my appreciation with words, gifts, and time together. To mothers-to-be, I prayerfully affirm health and ever-deepening joy. To mothers no longer in the world, I hold them in loving prayer and hold thoughts of joy and gratitude. I bless their souls' ongoing journeys, knowing bonds of love keep their memories alive. So the Bible verse for today is from Proverbs 31:28. Her children rise up and call her happy. So the affirmation, would you repeat it with me for today? I honor and bless the world's mothers. Thank you so much. All right, so now we are going to have some music presented by wonderful Rachel. And she will give a joyful, energizing, peaceful, and meaningful song for us. And then we will have a prayer. And let's see, our prayer chaplain today is Sandra de la Cruz. And the keeper of the flame, there she is back there, Mary Huck. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, I'm having a little memory thing here. But after the service, if you need a prayer, then Sandra will be in the back and she will pray with you personally. Okay, then after we have the prayer, we are going to have the meditation. And then after that, we will have Reverend Veronica will present the lesson. Thank you.
There's a presence moving softly in the quiet of my being, calling softly all the time. One heart, one mind, one life, united and divine. There's a presence and softly in the quiet of my being, calling softly all the time. One heart, one mind, one life, united and divine. One heart, one mind, one life, united and divine.
as we enter into this time of prayer, let us go from our head space to our heart space. Today we celebrate the divine feminine, the divine energy in our mothers, the divine energy of those who are grandmothers and those who will become mothers. We know that that divine strength exists, and that all divine feminine we are grateful for. How special this day is to celebrate the divine feminine that is in everyone. And with this prayer, we accept the love, the grace, and all that is ours today. It is so. Amen.
So in this beautiful consciousness established, and the love and the grace that is present, I invite you to take a deep breath within, and allowing that love that is God, and especially the love of Divine Mother, to circulate as your being. And with each breath, we go deeper and deeper into the awareness of the presence. The one heart, the one mind, the one life that we call God. And in that remembrance, remember the truth of who we are. Born of the eternal life and light. And we bring into our heart space the beautiful being, the beautiful vessel that was our mother and is our mother, or the ones who raised us and guided us. So with every breath, allow yourself to bring that loving energy, the gratitude of life breathing itself as your being, but through the beings who brought you into this world, who tended to your care. And with every breath, just allowing our heart just to circulate in divine love and grace. In deep realization that our mothers too are spirit in human form, and bearing witness to any of the relationships that might not have expressed this love. We allow spirit to fill our space, any emptiness, with divine love. So for the next few minutes, just allow yourself to go deeper into the heart, into the presence of God, into that divine love that is Mother. That precious awareness of the miracle of life. And no matter the circumstances, the gratitude of simply being born and honoring those who brought us here and those who brought them here, knowing that it is all God arriving. Breathe in and breathe out. And allowing any beautiful memories to arise like the rose in the garden. Simply see it, thank it, bless it. and from our heart we shine a light to all the mothers of the world, to all the mothers that have come before us, to our lineage of ancestors who, had they not existed, we would not be here. And allowing that love to circulate your being, radiating as gratitude and grace. Let's take one more deep breath together in this awareness of the celebration of mothers, but the divine feminine that exists in, through, and as each one of us. Let us breathe in. And in that exhale, deep gratitude, fully present, right here, right now. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and receive this gift of song.
If you know how to give your children gifts, every good thing that there is, how much more will your heavenly mother love you with an everlasting love? And the height and the breadth, can we ever comprehend, ever comprehend? We're safe in her hands with a love that never ends. It's a love that never ends. Unfailing love. Unfair love. Consider all the lilies in the fields, how they're clothed with divine. The birds in the sky are given wings to fly. We are loved, so we soar on this journey divine. Yeah. And the height and the breadth, can we ever comprehend, ever comprehend? We're safe in her hands with a love that never ends, love that never ends, unfailing love, unfailing love, unfailing love. And the height and the breadth, can we ever comprehend, ever comprehend? We're safe in her hands with a love that never ends. It's our love that never ends. unfailing love. Yeah, love. Unfailing love, unfailing love, so unfailing. If you know how to give your children gifts.
Thank you, Rachel. Beautiful. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Happy Mother's Day, and those online. So as I settle here, I'm going to invite you to greet each other. So stand up, greet each other. I'm going to rearrange some things here. I'm going to give this to you. Oh, that's okay. Wave hello to the people online.
Okay, did you see the video that I sent?
I did watch it, but David's here. I don't do that. So just show him and then it'll work. It's two years, right? Sure. No, so she's not disturbed.
Feel all that beautiful love. It's like I don't want to stop the hugs. And there's donuts afterwards, so we can chat some more. There's donuts in the committee room, so we can carry on the conversations. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for those who brought pictures of your mother. It was a late announcement for the altar, so we'll just, the altar of your heart. I was thinking about my niece's dogs that I had to go take care of. I said goodbye to my mother and then forgot her picture. So we're going to bless the mothers this morning and then have a conversation about wise women gather. But really, you know, this was inspired by Mirabai Starr, but I really want to focus on Divine Mother, and but the mother's present. Because the wise women that gather are actually here in this room, and those online, and our lineage, and those whose literally DNA sings as our being. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So if you're a mother, I invite you to stand up and come get a rose and come to the front because we're going to bless you. We're going to do a little blessing. So all the mothers, we're going to give you a rose. Come to the front. Receive your rose. Absolutely. Come. And if afterwards you're like, I like that other rose better, come get it.
Fur babies.
Sure, come on up. Fur babies count. Come on up. And the rest of us are going to stand in just a moment and bless them all. There you go. Here we go. Marilyn, are you coming? No? Okay. Did you got yours? All right. So we're the blessers. Let's come over here. Let's gather close. All righty. We're going to bless. Now let me get out of the picture. So first of all, take a look at these beautiful women. And in great gratitude for the gift of life, you gave of yourself to bring forth life, to let God flow in, through, and as you. So just repeat after me. We honor you. We bless you. We thank you. For all the ways you've given. And may you receive all the love you deserve. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Mother's Day. Come on in. Come on back. Give each other a hug. Grab a rose. We have extra roses. We'll hug afterwards. We would not be here without our mamas. We would not be here without our mamas. Absolutely. And the rose is that eternal symbol of the Divine Mother. Amma, who is considered a living saint in India, her Mother's Day blessing was, she says, the principle of motherhood is as vast and powerful as the universe. And with the power of motherhood within her, a woman can influence the entire world. And that is true. Yeah. And so we want to thank all who have brought us into the world. I think of the lineage. I have my mother's green eyes. I am an aunt. I think of my niece. It's her first Mother's Day. I think of how women literally give up their bodies, shapeshift, allow life to form. Not easy coming out, right? Heard about those labor pains, right? And then sharing the body and the breath and the heart and the mind with our mothers. If you had the chance to ever ask your mother, what it was like when she was pregnant with you, you'll get the stories and you'll see how things circulate within us. So my mother, when she was pregnant with me, my father was in the Army down in Killeen. She would mop the floor. She'd put my older brother in the stroller. She'd go to the bakery and she'd get a pastry. What do you think I love most in this world? Pastries, all right? So we want to acknowledge that, that the wisdom of the mother, the sacrifice of the mother, the givingness of the mother. I also want to honor those who did not have the relationship they wanted with their mother, or the mothers who have lost their children, or the children who may be estranged right now. Things happen in life. I've been very blessed to be very close with my mother. And we go back to all these wisdom traditions for eons that have always honored the mother. The Venus of, I think it's Willendorf, if you saw it, it's a little figure, and it's a fertility goddess. And for thousands and thousands of years, there were rituals and the May Day dance, and we celebrated the mother because we could not come into this world without life. And the mother isn't just a vessel. She is that expression of God and that self-givingness of life to allow it to flow. Back in the days, we had the high priestess. The women were honored. The wisdom was honored. We had the oracles at Delphi. We had the wisdom of Sophia and the Greek traditions. And then there's the Jewish mythology of Lilith, right? So, I didn't learn that growing up Catholic, that where Lilith was Adam's first wife. But she didn't want to comply. And so they got divorced. I'm like, well, how'd that happen? Because, where's the story on that? And then here comes Eve. But it was the tradition of Eve that really it was the Romans who actually took the gospel and changed it. The original teachings. Brought in original sin. Started treating the women like either you're the Madonna or the whore. Mary Magdalene was not a prostitute. She was actually a beloved disciple. And so I wanted to imagine the wisdom of those disciples with Jesus. Mirabai Starr writes in the Celebrating Female Mystics online about this feast. I'll read in a minute of all these wisdom traditions. You've got Kuan Yin in Buddhism. You've got Lakshmi and Kali and Durga in Hinduism. You've got, all Mother Mary, of course, and Mary Magdalene and Isis and Hathor. I can name them all. Did you know there's 400 goddesses? And I'm going to list them all right now. No, I'm just kidding. We'll be here for a while. But the divine incarnating in the feminine energy, it's just an energy, has been celebrated for eons. But I sat there and I'm like, but what are we missing? Because of what was taken out by the Roman Empire of the early disciples that were women. They literally, after the death and resurrection, it was women, especially the wealthy women, who were actually funding all these early churches. The women gathered and created the feast for the suppers, and they did the prayers and all that. I'm like, where would we be if we had that wisdom still now? Mirabai Starr shares that, here, I'll read it just really quickly. She goes, it's hosts, she's talking about a modern day theologian gets this long overdue party started. There is a secret fiesta going on in a wildwood, and you are invited. This party has been unfolding for millennia. Its hosts are women mystics from all branches of the soul family: Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and every indigenous wisdom way. And its guests include anyone whose heart has ever yearned for union with the beloved and the alleviation of suffering for all sentient beings, which means you. The gathering is secret simply because historically for wise women to gather openly has been a risk of death. It's not that they have been afraid to die, but rather they have known in every muscle fiber of their being that they must protect themselves because they know their knowledge is needed. Their love and clarity and beauty are profoundly, urgently needed. And so they've gone about in disguise, sprinkling party invitations in the public square, waiting to receive us when we come, and they wait patiently, but they are excited. The divine feminine that is arising has never gone away. I like that she said it's been a secret for safety. But the time is that we are awakening this truth that the divine feminine is also within men. It's an energy of love, compassion, clarity. We're all mothers in some way. Now, I'm an aunt, so I don't celebrate Mother's Day because I'm an aunt, which I think I'm going to start advocating for Favorite Aunts Day, but that's a whole other topic, right? But I want to honor the mothers who literally have given birth. I think of the sacrifices my mother made, young, from Italy, didn't know anybody. She had my brother in Italy and her family was there, but then came here to the States with my father, didn't know anybody, right? And the things that she had to learn and the sacrifices she made and the lessons that she taught me about faith and love and kindness and respect. I am who I am because of her. And so I think about these mystics of all ages, the women that are here, but the women that are here through you, whose wisdom lives on through us, and that we're being called then to shift the consciousness of that patriarchal paradigm that has suppressed the wisdom of women so that we don't have to be underground anymore. That we're rising not in like trying to have a matriarchy versus a patriarchy, but that we have a harmony and that we have equity and equality. Because we want to shift the stories, and the stories are shifting. Now, I find it interesting because the fertility goddesses were all about during the agricultural times, right? When they started settling in communities and having property, that's when you got the whole virgin thing, because the property was passed down to the sons, right? Well, the woman knows who, you know who the mother is, but you didn't always know who the father was, right? So that's where that whole tradition that the wife-to-be had to be a virgin in order to pass down the property, right? So women started getting categorized in two different places as opposed to being the full awareness of who they are, body, heart, mind, and soul. And so women are now dismantling that. Dismantling anything of less than, dismantling anything that we don't have to be aggressive, in the world, because I've also watched women step into a way of being that can actually be more masculine, thinking this is how I have to operate in the world. And I love the men of New Thought, because the men of New Thought have the divine feminine qualities within them. They're loving, they're compassionate. I'm not saying other traditions don't. But for me, when I was at Center for Spiritual Living Dallas, I would love sitting over the balcony watching these grown men hug, not afraid to hug each other. But the feminine that's arising is asking us to bring into the world that greater love, that greater compassion, that greater wisdom. One of the traditions of Mother Day began, and I just forgot the woman's name, it's over right here, Julia Ward Howe. In 1870, created what she wanted, a day of peace, because she was tired of the sons and the husbands being killed in the Civil War. And so the mothers come together. The mothers of Liberia came together to stop a war because they were tired of their sons and their husbands dying, right? So the mother energy is being called within each one of us to bring greater love, to bring greater compassion, to bring greater community, to bring greater clarity into the world. We're being invited by these mystics, right? So we've got the mercy of Kuan Yin, we've got the compassion of Tara, which is Buddhist, we have the brilliance of Sophia, and the shelter of Shekinah, right? Mirabai Starr invites us to break the bread of the courageous prophet Mother Mary and dip into the spicy oils of the holy daughter Fatima. And we're being invited to take all this wisdom from all these women of every tradition and bring it forward into this world in a way that we're operating from that deep love. In that way that we're allowing what is new and emerging from this world to be one where there's harmony, where war is no longer a consideration, where our children can live in the truth of who they are, whoever they are. Penzeys Spices, I love their spices. If you've never been, they're off of Preston. But I'm on their news list and because they're always writing these fabulous critiques, right? They sometimes get in trouble for it. But today was a beautiful list and it said, please read this, right? I'm like, I don't need more spices. Sometimes I read them, sometimes I don't. And it said, please read this email. And it was an email of mothers of transgender children. And I'm going to invite you to go to their website and download it. The pain and suffering to see their children suffering, but also that deep joy and love of loving their children unconditionally, and creating that safe space. And that's what the divine feminine that's arising in us now is asking. That's the shift in consciousness. Come to the party as you are, right? Bring in the different energy that is, that has been hidden for centuries, that has been relegated as less than. Stand in the power of who you are, which is the power of love. Stand in the truth of your creative being. Stand in the truth of your voice being heard. I remember, the stories, from my aunts, and then the stories from women that I've known through Peacemakers Incorporated. The times when women weren't supposed to do something, weren't allowed to be in certain industries, and those pioneers that no matter what knocked down those doors. Those mothers opened the doors for us to be who we are authentically. Those mothers invited us to rise up. Those mothers invited all of us to heal from what the ancestors of the patriarchal tradition, and to not be in judgment, but to open the way and the door of our hearts to allow greater light in the world. We're being called forth by all these mystics to understand new thought is radical in the sense that we've already had, way before in these last 100 years, women ordained as ministers, right? In a tradition that was typically just male-oriented. But now we've got women rabbis. We've got women shamans. We're starting to see the rise of it. So it's not a competition, it's about cooperation. It's about everybody stepping into their personal vision and view of life. But the Divine Mother is always that kind and warming embrace. And for those who didn't have that experience, think about the women in your life, or even the father figures that came in to fill in that mother role, where love was present, where you were given the space to be who you were, to be loved authentically. I am blessed to have such a great relationship with my mom. Now, it's not always perfect. I work her nerves. Sometimes she works mine. But I've been blessed. But I know I have friends who have not had that. But we found it in different places. My mother was actually raised by her aunt down the street. They're in northern Italy, and her parents lived down the street. And her mother asked, her sister, can you take care of Elvira, my mom? So my mother grew up with her grandmother, her aunt, and her two uncles down the street. So Zia Maria would be that mother figure for her. And she loved her mother just as much, right? And so the whole thing is to look around now at the wisdom that's arising. What wisdom is present? What wisdom is being lived through you? So I know that Charles Fillmore took the 12 powers. So he was influenced by the Transcendentalist movement, which is when he went on his committed spiritual search, it said, and it also led him to Eastern spirituality. But he, created the 12 powers system, right? And it is the wisdom, 12 powers of wisdom, love, strength, faith, imagination, order, understanding, will, power, zeal, release, and life itself. Find it on the Unity website, and here's the invitation. Go through each 12 power and imagine it's also a woman. not just the apostles, but the women that were there with Christ, but the women in your life. What woman, besides your mother, brought you zeal, wisdom, faith, imagination? What teacher influenced you? Mine were mostly women. And start looking at the 12 powers, not just from the apostles, no disrespect to the apostles, but to the women whose voices were not heard. And now give them voice. Who is that woman of love? Who is that woman of release? Who is that woman of zeal? Who is that woman of imagination, right? And then let it weave with what we've been taught. Let those voices rise. Let the wisdom of our ancestors that were kept quiet be heard. Let them speak to you and let us listen. And then let us invite one another then to lift the world in this divine love that we know that is necessary. It's not just male or female. These are just the bodies we get to play in. It is the way that God, divine love, incarnates in, through, and as us. Today we're celebrating the divine feminine. Oh, and by the way, did you know Jesus had sisters? I didn't know that. I somehow forgot that. I was like, how did I forget that he had sisters? And I remember that one, I think it's Mark 6:3. I'm like, yes. He had brothers and sisters. And brothers, exactly. And so it's like the wisdom, though, that was lost because some people didn't think it was necessary, or some people wanted to keep those voices down. What I'm inviting us is to allow the wise women to gather, and all the men are invited, but that we hear the voices of each other, and we listen to this wisdom, and we allow this wisdom to flow, and we carry it on just the way that our aunts, our grandmothers, our mothers, everybody have whispered to us different ways of being, different phrases to keep us going, different seeds of love that's planted in us. And let us show the world what it looks like to live from the truth of divine love, to live from the truth of this divine expression of the feminine and the divine masculine that are weaving together in a healthy way. So we celebrate our mothers, and we celebrate the wisdom of all the mothers in our life. And we celebrate all the truth of the way that God incarnated. God had a purpose to incarnate in, through, and as each one of us. And we call upon the ancestors and their voices that we can only hear in the whispers of the wind and say, tell me, show me the way, and allow me, by guiding me, to express this in the world so we can awaken to a world where war does cease, love is all that is present, and that we reveal it in the generation that is here now and all those yet to come. So I celebrate all the mothers in the room. I celebrate the ancestors that we didn't get to hear their voices, the divine women that sat with Jesus, that carried on the teachings, and the women of all the wisdom traditions. Because even in Zen, it's called the hidden lamp. We're getting the voices of the women. Natalie Goldberg, the author, wrote a book on haiku, and she goes, when they were teaching me haiku, they just gave me the men. She called them the boys. She goes, I'm looking for the girls. There have to be girls if there's boys, right? So let us find those voices within us, but let's find those voices in the world, and let's gather this wisdom, and let's meet and celebrate, just like Mirabai Starr invited us. And let us then see in every tradition all that is true and beautiful, and that we align in that for not only our lives and our children, my nieces and nephews, the children that are teaching, but all those who are coming into this world. Let us make this place so much more beautiful than we've experienced. And let the love and the grace and the heartbeat of Mother Earth express itself as our lives. And the grace and the heartbeat of all the ancestors that have come before us. Because somebody gave me my green eyes besides my mother, right? They all had to exist for us to be here. So I just invite you just to explore the 12 powers, but try to find a feminine voice to go and weave with that. And by weaving it together, we will be far stronger. That we have both the divine masculine, the divine feminine, weaving together, because that's the way that the oneness is seeking to express. And we are here to join that party, and we are here to raise our voices in love, and we are here to shine the light of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But today, it's all about the mamas, right? So I invite you just to explore that. Honor your mothers. Whatever forgiveness is necessary for many, just allow that to be. For those who've experienced loss, I bear witness to it. And let us honor all the mothers of the world. It makes me weep that my niece is a mom. And that Caroline, literally in her little body, has the seeds of her grandchildren. That's a beautiful thing. That's a miracle of life. So let us celebrate that miracle. Let's honor our mothers. Thank you. Let us pray out. But I bless you. Just allow yourself to receive that wisdom of the divine feminine. Allow the wise women to gather, because they used to always gather in the kitchen, making those tortillas in my family, those frijoles, and telling stories. Tell the stories. Weave all this together so that we create this fabric of truth, of the oneness and the wholeness and the beauty that is God. I invite us to go within and pray. So we just take a deep breath together and just aligning in that divine love, that divine grace that we do call Divine Mother, and all that is present. I give thanks for the awareness of the power that we call God, the love, the light, the wisdom, the truth, the creativity, the imagination. All of it is the way that Spirit expresses. And so on this day and every day, we thank the mothers that have brought us into this world. I give thanks for all the mothers of every tradition. I give thanks for Mother Mary, who was my guiding star as a child. I give thanks to all the mothers I've encountered throughout the days and all the mothers who are yet to come. But we bless this day where the wise women gather and where the men come join us so we can celebrate the truth of the feminine mind and the feminine heart that is love, cooperation, connection, and community. We embrace all the activity together, and then we create these meals of magnificence so that we then take this out into the world. So I give thanks and I celebrate and honor all it is God, and knowing that it is so, that I know today and every day this wisdom circulates into the world, and we invite that love to be with us, walking, breathing, and having its being as us, and knowing that it is so with all the gratitude of our hearts for all that we have received from our mothers, all that continues to circulate. I just bless each person here, their lineage, their ancestors, and all those that are arriving. And knowing that it is God and knowing that it is good, I just let this word be in the activity of the law with a great grace and gratitude in my heart. And together, let's affirm this good by saying, and so it is.
Disappointment was my closest friend. I saw the truth, darkness soon departed, and I'm on this shore of love, I'll always stand. Sing it with me. In love keeps lifting us higher than we've ever been lifted before. Let's keep it up. That's our desire. We'll be ambassadors of love. Oh, sweet love is lifting me, yeah. Sweet love is lifting me high, yeah.
Goodness, I feel like I've levitated. That was amazing. Let's all stand up and give Reverend Veronica and Rachel a standing ovation. How totally uplifting. How wonderful. And thank you for bringing in the images of women from the ancient world and the goddesses. It's just, I loved it so much. I hope you all did too. Right now, I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that we had to turn off the projector, but the good news is I have so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, I was just telling Reverend Veronica that, the energy is just kind of wonky right now. That's not the best. Yes, the magnetic fields. And so, just as an aside, and I'll hurry, I have a singing bowl, kind of like that one, in my house, and I will play it from time to time, sitting on a table. When I pass that table, I play it. Well, yesterday or last night, I thought, I'm going to play that, and I couldn't get it to sing. I thought, oh my goodness, what is that? So then, when I came today, I tried to get this one to sing, and it wouldn't sing. So Reverend Veronica said that it could be the energy, the changes in the energy that's going on right now. So I'll keep you posted. Okay, so thank you all again so much. It was a wonderful experience for me. Okay, so always we say, since we are looking for new ministers, everyone knows, and we know that they are on their way. I want to take time to do the new minister affirmation, and since we don't have it on the screen, if you could just repeat each sentence after me. We embrace with love, joy, and harmony. We embrace with love, joy, and harmony. A creative and dedicated spiritual leader. A creative and dedicated spiritual leader who will bring positivity and connection with our community. At Unity on Greenville. Unity on Greenville. Okay, thank you. And also, I want to, we usually talk about the core values. So, again, I will read a core value, and if you will repeat after me. So, the core values are unconditional love. Unconditional love. Conscious spiritual transformation. Spirit of service. Acceptance and inclusion. Expression of divine light. Okay, thank you. Also, we don't have it on the screen, but if you are not receiving the weekly newsletter, please connect to Unity. What is it? Oh, www.dallasunity.org. So you can go there and you can find out what all's happening in the church. You can request a prayer. If you want to have an activity here at the church yourself, you can find out how to do that. Okay, so we will move along now to the peace song. Everybody please stand. Yes, there is peace on earth. I know it begins in me. Yes, there is peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be. right, and now the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And thank you for being here, and happy Mother's Day. And oh, donuts in the other room. Yes, yes.